I got a long list of reasons why I'm tired of being black in America. Okay, guys, so let me get to it. I have carried the burden of being black in America, and it is getting so much heavier than it used to be. It's always been heavy, but it's just getting so much heavier. Number one reason, I'm tired of memorizing the names of black people killed by police wrongfully. Do you know how many names there are? I don't even know them all, but off the top of my head, Oscar Grant, Sandra Bland, Eric Garner, Amadou Diallo, Sean Bell, Regina, Trayvon Martin was killed by George Zimmerman, who wasn't police, Jordan Reed. Oh my gosh, there's so many. There's so many names to remember. Too many hashtags. There's so many every year. Mike Brown, Tamir Rice. I mean, name after name. I know their story. I know where they went to high school. Walter Scott. Ezell Ford was here in LA. There was a youth shot last night in St. Louis. I'm tired, guys. I'm tired. And those are just the names I can think off the top of my head. That's 10, 15. That's more names than presidents I can think of off the top of my head. Tarika Wilson. It's just, it's hard, guys. It's hard. You know that every time a hashtag name is trending on Twitter. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. If you want to invite your followers, tap the man on the right and share with your followers. You can do it on Periscope. It'll show live that you shared it, and it'll invite more people to come. I always forget to say that. But it's exhausting, guys. Every time a name trends on Twitter, I think, oh my God, somebody else black died. And guess what? For the most part, it's the truth. Walter Scott, when he died, Tamir Rice, Sandra Bland. Twitter is like the Grim Reaper of death for black people right now. Okay, we're not talking about, I knew somebody was going to say, what about black on black crime? I got a whole nother Periscope for black on black crime. But listen, people, this is very easy. Most crime is committed by people of the same race because you kill people that you know or that are close to you. Black on black crime is a problem. So is white on white crime, Mexican on Mexican, Irish on Irish. But you don't see the police going and killing somebody else. There is white on white crime. Most white people are killed by other white people. Surprise! You kill people you know or who live in your neighborhood. But we only bring out the statistics for black people. What about Chicago? That is a problem. And so is police killing black people. Crime is mostly intraracial. You don't just go out to the suburbs and kill somebody. You kill somebody who lives in your neighborhood. You're committing a robbery in your neighborhood. People in trailer parks kill people in trailer parks. Surprise, people. People don't randomly go kill people. So yes, black on black crime is a problem. But black on black crime is a problem because poverty is a problem, because the education system is a problem, because racism is a problem, because in Chicago, they built a freeway to drive past the ghettos, and they made it hard for people to get jobs. And people like Donald Sterling, who make it impossible for black people to move into better neighborhoods, and we keep them in small neighborhoods where they can't get a job, they're uneducated, they're hungry, that leads to crime. Those things lead to crime. This is also why I'm tired of being black, because I have to explain that every time. People don't know that. What about black on black crime? What about it? That's the truth. It's exhausting to have to say that, especially to black people. We should know that. If you want education, you can get it. Is it really that simple? Is it really? My parents had no money to send me to college. How can my parents send me to college? It's really easy to get education when you have money. It's very simple. My kids are now getting a better education because I have a better job and I can make sure they go to a better school. But if I don't have a better job and I have to live in the hood and all the other people live in the hood also can't get a job, then that school most likely is not going to have a great education. Great education come from great schools. Great schools come from neighborhoods with high taxes, because people who have high taxes are what are used to fund schools. Or you can send your kid to a private school, and that costs $10K a month. Do people be having $10,000 a month? Is it that simple to get education? My dad wanted me to go to college, but he couldn't pay for it. So I had to go into debt in order to get there. I'm already off track because I'm frustrated and I'm upset. I'm yelling because I'm exhausted. It's not as simple as go get an education. Do you think that's that simple? I'm getting off track. The other reason, like I said, I'm tired of hashtags on Twitter because it usually means death. Okay? Usually means death. Okay? It's not that easy. Trade schools, it's just not that easy. But I don't have time to go into detail about everything because I'll be here all day and I got to go to work so that my kids can continue to go to this charter school, and I was able to pull them out of LAUSD. Got to go to work to make sure I can continue to stay in this neighborhood so that they continue to go to school, so they won't commit black on black crime, so that if and when they get shot by a police officer, they will say, what about black on black crime? Police lives matter. Not today. All right. You know what else I'm tired of explaining? The difference between Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matter. Really? Is All Lives Matter really something? Really? We're blocking without the possibility of parole today. All right, new day, blocking without the possibility of parole. Especially if you got an egg. Zero tolerance today. I won't get tired of blocking. Oh, block ministry is strong. I'm not cute today. Nah, not today. I'm married. Sorry, fam. Sorry, fam. Not today. I'm not in the mood. So tread lightly. Tread lightly. Like I was saying, the fact that we have to have Black Lives Matter is exhausting. The fact that we have to explain why Black Lives Matter is exhausting. Really? Do we really have to explain to people why Black Lives Matter? Thank you. We are not saying other lives don't matter. We're just saying, hey, have you guys noticed that police are like disproportionately killing these people, this one group of people? Maybe we should bring some awareness to the fact of that. No. All lives are important. Yeah, we get that, but all lives are not being shot by police disproportionately. Have you guys noticed that? No. All lives matter. All lives matter. Yeah, totally. We get that. But that's like saying if during October when we're saying, hey, breast cancer awareness and all that type of stuff, it's like saying, yeah, all diseases matter. Well, my grandmother died from cancer, so I'm really raising money for cancer. Yeah, well, my grandma died from ALS, so all diseases matter. Do you realize how dumb you sound when you say that? That's like, hey, we should raise money for children's hospitals because, kids are dying. Boy, you eggs are out here. Eggs is out here getting blocked. I'm making omelets today. I'm making omelets. Yes, all diseases are important, but if people are dying from breast cancer at, say, 70%, then people are going to be like, man, breast cancer is really taking people out. We should do more research. Yeah, we know that heart disease is bad too, and lung disease, but cancer is really killing. No. All diseases matter. What about cancer on cancer? What about the people who got cancer from smoking? So we can't focus on that. Okay? It's exhausting. Okay? You know what else I'm tired of? I'm tired of seeing people shot and killed on YouTube videos and Instagram clips when I'm not even prepared for that. That's what's hard about being black. I'm seeing people killed on TV. I'm seeing little girls flung across the room for not getting up. If you're a good egg, hatch that egg. Get a profile picture quick. Go out and get a profile picture and come in quick. I'm so tired of seeing videos. I'm not prepared. I'm going on Instagram after a long day at work just to chill, and I'm seeing a black person get shot. Walter Scott, I wasn't prepared. I was not prepared to see a man get shot by a police officer and then see a police officer pick up a taser and go and drop it by him so he could say that he had a weapon. I'm tired. So blacks never commit a crime and never should be dealt with. There you go. I'm dealing with you. How about that? How about that? Do you see why it's exhausting just in this broadcast? I can't even get the words out. And you see why it's exhausting? I didn't know what was happening. Spring Valley High was a hashtag. I was like, what's Spring Valley High? Of course, it's a black girl getting thrown across the room by a police officer. And here's what also I'm tired of. We need more facts. You need more facts? Here's a fact. A child, a girl, was thrown out of her desk, flipped over, and then thrown across the room. What more information do I need? Did she spit? Did she have a gun? Did she shoot? She didn't stand up. Okay, so that's how we get there. That's how we get there. We go from you didn't stand up to getting arrested. We have militarized schools. We got Don Lemon saying, well, we don't know all the facts. Here's the fact. She was a child who was picked up and thrown across the room. There's a fact. She was black. He was white. 2 facts. Am I saying she's right? No. Am I saying he's right? Absolutely not. I don't know why she did it, but I find it hard-pressed to believe that much force was necessary. That's what I find hard to believe. That much force was necessary. Was she aggressive? Was she attacking him? Did she have a weapon? I find it hard to believe that much force was necessary. There's no way she could have hurt him from what she was doing. Like my brother said yesterday, he did not like that. This is the best explanation to me. He did not like that she was disrespecting authority. And maybe she was wrong, man, but here's what you got to understand. Kids be going through stuff. Kids go through stuff. And a lot of times they are powerless to their circumstances. So they try to make a point any way they can. What was going on in her home life? I've heard she had a death in the family or something like that. Is any of this information available? Kids go through tough things in life. Kids have abusive parents. Kids are hungry. The lights be off. There's more than one reason to upset. Her mother and grandmother died. She's in foster care. Come on, man. Come on. And of course, he wouldn't know that. But if we would stop, take a pause, and say, hey, we don't need to have police throwing kids around, maybe somebody would say, hey, man, this is like a lot going on. Now she's got another traumatic event. Her video's all over the internet. You think she's going to recover easily from this? Tired of being black. This is off the subject from like race and death and killing. I'm tired of Hollywood and the treatment of black people. Like the movie Exodus. We're really going to act like Egyptians were white. Christian Bale is a fine actor. Batman's a great movie. Dark Knight. I love The Dark Knight. Great guy. He should have many roles in Hollywood. Many roles in Hollywood. He should not be playing Moses and Pharaoh. Whoever the other guy was, these guys, they should not be playing the black people. We don't have that many movies telling our stories that aren't 12 Years a Slave and Django. I really wanted to see Exodus, but I just couldn't. I couldn't bring myself to purchase that movie. I just was like, you know what? Can't do it. Can't do it. You know what else I'm tired of? I'm tired of I've got to go back to the police because somebody just brought this up. The kid who went and shot the 9 people in South Carolina is arrested with a gun. He shot people with a gun. He's arrested. There's white people who open carry with assault rifles and handguns on their hips. They're talked down from police. And then there's black people who are killed because we think they have a weapon. Black people can't open carry. We can't open carry. Same rights, same rules don't apply. Open carry does not apply to black people. Every time a black person commits a crime, it's in the news. He's a thug, he's a victim, he's been in trouble in 3rd grade, he threw dirt in somebody's eyes. White kid is troubled, he comes from a broken home. We've got to understand, we can't rush to judgment. Ain't nobody got time. We sure rush to judgment when the skin color is the other way around. We sure will go to your 2nd grade teacher and say, hey, did he pass his spelling test? He failed 3 spelling tests and that's why he's enraged. And here's the blacks again. Can we at least tell the same story? A black person can't even have a gun in real life. We shot Tamir Rice. The police shot Tamir Rice, a child. Here's what else I'm tired of. I'm tired of the fact that I have to explain to my kids how they're going to have to deal with police. I'm going to tell my kids, you have to get through this alive. Do you know how fearful that is? Tamir Rice was 12. My son is 9. You mean I'm 2-3 years away? And Zay's pretty tall. I'm 2-3 years away from saying, if a police officer comes to you, lay down on the ground, put your hands up, don't be threatening because he may kill you. Kill you, not beat you up, not arrest you. He may shoot you until you are dead. I don't have to wait till he's 18. 12. Tamir Rice was 12. I want to let my kids run outside and play, but I'm not. I'm not going to. Because police, somebody will call him and say, this kid's playing. You know how many toy guns I played with as a kid that looked real? I got boys, black boys, who can get killed by police. That's exhausting. Mike Brown was, 17? My kids ain't gonna want me to be around all the time. It's exhausting to think that I'm gonna have to worry about them every second of every day. If they're having a rough day, and for whatever reason they don't feel like doing exactly what a police officer thinks they should be doing, even if they're not aware of what the police officer thinks, that they can be shot, and killed. Good neighborhood, bad neighborhood. Do we belong in this neighborhood? Maybe not. I got to prove I belong there. I'm exhausted. Me and Jason and Anthony had a play business in Washington, and our investor owned the building, the property, and our set was in there. And we were having play rehearsal one night, and it was 10:30 on a Friday night. And play rehearsal was over, and we're just sitting in the parking lot chopping it up, talking about the play. A police officer pulls up, flashes the light on us, and then says, what are you guys doing here? We said, we own this building. We work here. This is our play. I don't think you guys should be out here. What do you mean, sir? We're inside of mind you guys, we were inside of a fence in the building. And we get pulled over and asked to prove that we belong here. Why? Why do we have to prove that we belong here? And my brother is a aggressive, agitated individual. Why should I have to prove that? We had to open the gate and show them the play set. We were at rehearsal, sir. Like, what are we doing? Why do I have to prove this? Why do I have to prove I belong where I am? But you know what I would do right now? If that happened, hands up, lay on the ground, because I don't want to have to explain myself. You want to be proud? Pride will get you killed with police. You can be right and dead, and he'll be on administrative leave. He'll be suspended. He may even be fired, but he won't be charged. He won't go to jail. We're lucky that Walter Scott was shot on videotape, because if he wasn't, the guy would have been on administrative leave and he would have got suspended at most. Luckily, somebody was there and taped it. I'm also tired of feeling like I gotta hold up the whole entire black race every time I meet people who aren't black to make sure. I'm tired of, like, when I get bad service, having to feel like I've got to tip just because I don't want to perpetuate the stereotypes that black people don't tip. I don't want to hold the whole race up in every conversation. Kev, you're black. What do you think? I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it at work. I don't want to talk about it. I was at Bank of America, and one of my coworkers said, she was a Vietnamese girl. She said, I'm so glad I met you because you're the first black guy who has his pants pulled up and who doesn't curse and didn't try to holler at me. I was like, what? What? I don't want to be the solo ambassador for the black race. I don't have the energy. I don't have the energy. I was married at the time. Exhausted, man. And she went to a high school that had like 75% black people. Frustrating. I got tension in my shoulders all the time. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired of having to explain why Viola Davis' speech is the right thing to say. I'm tired of Raven Simone and Don Lemon. I'm tired. You know why Don Lemon is so dangerous? Because he speaks on a national platform. My brother was talking about this yesterday. He's the black person that white people can say, hey man, see that guy, he gets it. He gets it. That's what I've been saying. You know what I'm tired of? Covert racism. Code. I'm tired of people saying racism is over because we have a black president. Really? I still get followed around the store today. That's more prejudice than racism. But let me tell you, man. Whoo! I'm tired of Ben Carson saying Obamacare is the closest thing to slavery. Listen, man, I know you want to be on the news, and I know you want to be getting quotes, but can we stop watering down how bad slavery was to make your point about Obamacare? Can we stop? Are we really that far removed? Have we not read history books about slavery? Have we not? Can we really stop? Can we really stop and stop? Let's stop saying that anything. Slavery and the Holocaust cannot be used as barometers for how bad something is. Okay? It's not. Yes, the Bible used to justify slavery. Come on, guys. Obamacare, just say it's bad. Just say you don't agree with it. Why do you have to bring in slavery to make your point? That's not even close. It's not even close. It's not even close. It's exhausting, guys. It's exhausting. You know what else I'm tired of? Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Donald Trump said something that was so interesting to me. He said, I got a small loan of $1 million from my father, and I had to repay it back with interest. So I have not had it easy. Donald Trump really said, I got $1 million loan from my father and had to pay it back with interest, so I've not had it easy. A small loan of $1 million? My dad couldn't give me $100 when I was going to college. A small loan of $1,000. The guy who started GoPro, his parents gave him a $280,000 loan. My parents and family don't have that type of money. I'm trying to make enough money so that if my kid has an idea that can change the world, I can fund it. It must be nice to have a dad who has, you know how much money you have to loan your kid? $1 million? $1 million? Boy, the eggs are out today. It's exhausting, guys. Y'all can block people too. We just having a block party today. You don't want to hear the truth, so I'm going to lie to you, make it sound fly to you. And that was $1 million back in the day. Back in the day, that was $1 million. People like to say that slavery has no effect on today. Here's how that's not true. If your family created wealth during slavery and then used that wealth to build other legitimate businesses outside of slavery, and you keep passing down that wealth, you can't say that you don't have a benefit. They say with inflation to be worth $5.9 million. If your family was slaves, and here's what people forget, the nadir, which was a time after slavery, was in some ways more difficult than slavery for black people, right? Because at least, I wrote a paper on this in college, at least when you were a slave, they had a use for you. They wanted to keep you alive to work on their stuff. After slavery was over, their killing you had no effect on anything. So if you have somebody who started with a farm, and you have somebody who started working for that farm, who never got paid a wage, and when I worked for your farm and got cotton, and you sold that cotton, and you made money, and you kept making money, and you kept making money, oh shoot, I blocked the wrong person. I'm sorry, Miss Lucy. Block you out. And you kept making money and money and money and money, and the other people didn't make money, and then slavery was over, and you still have all this money, and you pass it down to your kids, and you pass down land and homes, and you have horses and water, and you build a business, and you pass that down for generation to generation to generation. Really? You really think that that has no effect? You really think that if your family has had a generation for no effect, and when black people would get ahead, they would get shot, killed, house burned down, lynched. So it would not be in our best interest to be successful, because being successful would lead to death. You know how long people had to be to tell people you going to college, they're going to think you uppity, they're going to get you killed. It's exhausting, people. I'm tired just talking about it. Just trying to block all these people. The 10, 15 people I blocked today. Black Wall Street, I didn't even mention. Black Wall Street, I didn't even mention. Discrimination on jobs, I didn't even mention. Affirmative action, saying that's not fair, I didn't even mention. Can you believe they're still the first black of stuff? Viola Davis won an award for lead actress, and she was the first black person? Really? 2015? The first? You will be great at sports. All that stuff. Oh. Tired, man. I'm tired. I was really surprised by that. I was like, man, really? I can still name the black people that won Oscars. There's only that many. I can name most of them. Sidney Poitier, Jamie Foxx, Halle Berry, Monique, Jennifer Hudson. I'm missing a couple. It's less than 10. Hattie McDaniel. It's tiring, guys. It's tiring. I'm tired. The one from The Help, her name is Octavia Spencer, I believe. It's exhausting. Is there a comment or a question? Hollywood's a whole nother story. I've thought about this too. It's not only racism in Hollywood. Racism, you know how it works, and I'm on the inside now, and I see how it works. When you're white, when you're a person, it's not even you're white. When you're a person, you tend to help out your friends and people like you, people you went to school with, right? Yeah, Jay's coming on after this. Now, what happens is the people you went to school with generally look like you. So if you're people in power, for the most part, are white. White people tend to hire their own friends. They're not necessarily saying, I don't want to hire black people, but they're just coming to say, I'm going to help my boy out. Because once I got hired, I started helping my boys out. And guess what my boys are? Black. I started throwing work to all the people that look like me. It's not only nepotism. Your family is cool. Your friends, they get on, put on too. If I got a contract and my brothers are, say I got a construction business and my brother makes steel, I'm going to say, Jay's coming on with what the white teacher said to my son yesterday. If my brother makes steel, I'm going to give him the contract because he's my brother. He's also black. If that happens time and time again, but there ain't no black people at the top to be able to pick their brothers up, then the people with money are only giving the money to their other friends. So now that I'm in a position of power, and there's some other people of color who are in positions of power, there's more people of color who are getting opportunities. They're not better than us. They're just given opportunities that we're not given. That's all the difference is. They used to really think black people couldn't play quarterback because they weren't smart enough. That was a real thing. They used to think black people couldn't play quarterback because they weren't smart enough. You can do everything else. You can play running back, lineman, linebacker, cornerback, safety, anything else but quarterback. You can be great at football, play football your whole life, but you can't be black and coach football. Same thing goes for baseball. There's 8 million Hispanic and Latin American players in the MLB. There's like one Hispanic or Latin American manager. So you're good enough to play your whole life. You understand the game well enough to play, but you ain't smart enough to be a manager. All types of managers with no experience get jobs in the MLB. There is a Rooney Rule in the NFL that says you have to, when you're applying for a head coaching job or you're filling a head coaching job, you have to at least interview one black person. That's a rule. Oh, move to Africa. Surprised that, didn't see that coming. Because we had a choice in coming to Africa just like your ancestors had the choice to become immigrants. The only people who are native to America are Native Americans. And you see what happened to them. You see what happened to Native Americans whose land this was. You see you can't blame black people for what happened to Native Americans. Woo! Manifest destiny, trail of tears, excuses. Oh gosh, boy. See, that's why I'm tired. That's why I'm tired. White people just said, nah, man, this is us. Christopher Columbus was like, I discovered America. There was people here. There was people already here. Nah, fam, I discovered this. How you discover something that had people living in their land already with customs and history and a society? How you discover that? You didn't discover that. It was here. Boy, the trolls came out today, boy. You don't want to hear it. Go back to Africa then, coon. Whew. Exhausting, guys. It's exhausting. What do my white friends think of issues like this? They have feelings, but it's hard for them to have feelings on this. It doesn't affect them like it affects us. They want to talk about it, but honestly, it just don't affect them. It's like how a person feels about autism if nobody in their family or anybody they know has autism. You feel like, man, that sucks. But if you don't have autism or nobody in your family has autism, it doesn't suck as bad for you as somebody who has autism. I can empathize with you, but I don't really know. And that's how it is. They don't even know what it's like. When police officers pull them over, they just have no fear. They're not afraid that the police are going to pull them out of the car and shoot them. I am, but they're not afraid of that. They have no worry. They can yell at the police. They can get frustrated. Sandra Bland was pulled out of her car and arrested for being frustrated while being pulled over. Who is having a good time when you're getting pulled over? We try to keep clean language in here, Nicole. I know we're frustrated. And when I get pulled over, I'm always frustrated because I know it's $250 at best. You really have somebody pulling a gun on you because you have a sarcastic attitude? Yeah, I'd be having an attitude if you pulled me over because, oh gosh. Put your cigarette out? Why? She moved out of his way and he pulled her over and he wondered why she was frustrated. You're not allowed to be frustrated when the police pulls you over? Of course you be frustrated. If you want to give her a ticket, give her the ticket. She don't have to be in a good mood about it. You don't have to be in a good mood about getting a ticket. Corey Jones, I forgot about Corey Jones, waiting for a tow truck when he was shot and killed by police on the way home from a gig. And his friend who sat with him probably will never forgive himself for leaving. But you know what? You wouldn't expect your friend to be shot to death by police in the middle of the night. That's not something you expect. But now he's going to feel guilty forever. I grow weary. I'm going to go so my brother can get on. Y'all be blessed. My brother's coming on right now.